affect the outcome of the game, but when it's done and done, the ref does what the ref does. You need to go and play football.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't seen it this bad in these games, and deep in the playoffs like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fighting for a spot in the Super Bowl, and it's just consistently, instead of making calls, you're missing them.
And these are supposed to be the best refereeing groups out there, or crews out there.
So you saw the quote, and I'm using finger quotes here, but the roughing the passer on Brady.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw up. Talk about a missed pass interference call.
He didn't even get touched. He got an additional 15 yards.
Literally, he got touched. Literally, a dead arm flopped on his shoulder pad. He still had the ball in his hands. He was throwing the ball, and they called it roughing the passer. That's the worst one all season.
I don't know about all season.
Who sits in this meeting?
Agree.
Who sits in this meeting and goes, all right, guys. If Tom Brady Tom Brady has the ball, he's sitting there and he's just waiting to throw, and he still has the ball in his hands, and let's just say a random arm comes out of nowhere and just taps him on the shoulder. That's 15 yards.
No, it's absurd.
They're just giving him yards here.
It is very horrible, but
it's atrocious.
It is.
And then obviously the neutral zone.
But that didn't win the game for them.
No, but I'm just saying it's consistent. I'm just giving evidence to say that they're just consistently missing these calls or no calls.
We see a common problem, a very big problem. How do you solve that problem?
Okay, well, going back to the NFC game, that I think maybe this will just be in the postseason. I don't know how they'll work this out, but maybe just postseason games, you allow the head coach to be able to challenge a no call. So, for instance, when Sean Payton and everyone watching at home and everyone in the stadium saw that was a pass interference clearly and it wasn't called, Sean Payton would be able to use one of his challenge flags to say that I'm challenging it, that's a pass interference, even though there was no call on the field.
So
and thus making it like a reviewable play, and obviously they would review it and say, yeah, it's pass interference, here's your 15 yards.
So
first down.
Here's what type of penalties, what type of no calls, because there's holding every single play of football.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah. Well, I mean, I think if it's like terrible holding and they just missed it, that's one thing. But here and there, I mean, yeah, there is obviously holding on every play.
Yeah. And
you have to account for that. But I think if it's like bad and as obvious as this pass interference was, then yeah, you should have the option to throw a challenge flag on a no call.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's obvious or not obvious. Holding's holding.
Yeah, but I mean, it does have something to do with it. If it's blatantly obvious, I mean, it's more obvious.
They should call it. They would be.
Yeah, they should have called it, and then you should be able to challenge it. And it would use one of your timeouts, and it would take your challenge flag for the half.
Well, it wouldn't use one of your timeouts if you won the challenge.
If you won the challenge, no. But I'm saying if you lost it, it still would have taken your timeout.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that should happen. Maybe just in the postseason. I don't know. I also think so. There's that. I also think that we should, and this also could just be in postseason. That in overtime you should allow both offenses a chance to score.
Well, we'll get to that afterwards.
Okay.
But the penalty thing. How do you feel about like a college take on it? Like, you know how college has that, the NCAA has a like with eye in the sky.
What do you mean?
Like where all the reviews and everything goes up to New York or whoever that calls them.
Yeah.
They take care of the reviewing, and they could be like, they could stop the game and be like, hey, there was a flag here.
Yeah.
Or how do you feel that?
I mean, I think, don't they do that in the NFL?
No.
They don't?
Not really. Well, like, that's like big time reviews they'll call New York, but like not like a third party, like where the game's going on, but if they see, hey, that was a PI on that play, they call it in themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do that. But
well,
what if they
it wouldn't hurt to do it.
But the argument with that is it would just add so much time to the game. Like, they could call flag. Like I said, they're just holding every play.
Yeah.
They could call flag every play.
Yeah, but it wouldn't change. It wouldn't change the rate of which the holdings are being called. You know.
Well, if they had that,
they obviously don't call holding on every play.
Well, yeah, because they can't see it. But if they have that extra eye, they could see it, and they could potentially call it every single play.
Yeah. But, I mean, they could also call targeting on every single play.
No.
Or, yeah, I mean, you could always find an argument of head-to-head contact somewhere on the
Which
field.
needs to be abolished.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, you're wearing a helmet for a reason.
On to your overtime.
That sounds pretty morbid.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I agree. To your overtime, each team gets the opportunity. I don't get what you're saying.
Okay, because like I said, in the Chiefs and Pats game, whoever won that whoever won that coin toss is winning the ball game.
Why is that? Because you know that they're going to drive down there and score a touchdown?
You put the ball in Tom Brady's hands in overtime in a clutch situation like that, I'm putting all my money that he's going to score. Also, you give the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands with all the weapons he has in a clutch situation.
That's how it works.
He's gonna win the ball game.
It's not sudden death. Like,
no, it is sudden death. You score and you win.
You score a touchdown.
Score a touchdown and you win.
Well, if you stop them and hold them to a field goal, then you get a chance to get back on the field.
Yeah, I understand that.
So your defense needs to.
I understand
step
that,
up.
but this goes back to where they're making all the rule changes. They're making all the rule changes in favor of the offense. So it's only fair for both offenses to get a chance to score.
So, I mean, they do that unless it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a field goal, then the other offense... Because it used to be, if you kicked a field goal first, you won.
Yeah.
And that was really... So they implemented this whole, both teams get the ball unless you drive down and score a touchdown.
Well, and I would agree with you if it wasn't for all the rule changes that they're making. If we're talking about 10 years ago, I would agree with you 100%. Like, yeah,
10
you
years
have
ago,
both teams have 11 players on the field at a time, and you have a defense that can stop them. I'm not trying to downplay any defense or whatever, but when you're talking about the when you're talking about the four highest scoring teams all season playing for a chance to play in the Super Bowl, you got to give respect to both offenses here. Especially when you include the fact that...
like I said earlier, the Chiefs' defense just played horrible. Patriots did what they wanted with them.
I mean, yeah, but they didn't have to do much. I mean, Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions. Two on paper, 1 got called back. So...
But, I mean, they still won the game.
Oh, I know they won the game. I'm just saying. We're talking about overtime here. I'm just saying... I think you have to give respect to Patrick Mahomes and the offense he has in that situation.
Well, that's not the rule. So what?
No, I know it's not the rule, but we're talking about changing the rule.
You say they go to college style, get the ball at the 25-yard line, score a touchdown?
I think we should.
I don't know.
I think because that's just a shootout, basically. And whoever stops them first after you get a chance to score wins.
So that change. If you were to do that.
Why not? What's the harm in making it like college?
I just don't see it happening.
Why not?
You don't truly get to see like your defense at work.
Yes, you do. Why wouldn't you get to see your defense at work just as much as
we're automatically in field goal range?
No, but
and they're that much closer.
Okay, if but if you don't have a defense, you can just score whenever you want, score touchdowns whenever you want. If you have a defense, you stop them with a field goal. And then your offense has to outplay their defense and score a touchdown to win the game.
So, how I guess they could do it?
I mean, you don't have to start at the 25. You can make it at the 50. You're still, like, in field goal range. I mean...
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But I guess one thing they could do is keep the rules similar to how they are now. But instead of them scoring a touchdown and being over, the other team gets the ball. Kind of the same rules... What happens with a field goal? Except
and you go until there. So it's like a shootout. You know, it's like in college. It's just like the way that the A&M LSU game went. It'll go until one of you outscores the other. You know?
Well, I think they should keep it how it is. but allow it where I really don't even think this one. I'm just trying to agree with you.
What?
Or like make common ground. Keep it the same rules as it is, but with the. I guess it is kind of like all those rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's the harm in doing that?
Just
Dropped a coin. There's rules, yeah. You change the rules. They've been doing that all season. It's not possible for them to change the rules.
I don't know.
Look,
I don't get paid to make these decisions. I don't know.
No, I'm not either. I'm just saying. What would be the harm of, okay, look, we've already made everything in favor of the offense all season. We're talking about the 4 most productive, high-scoring offenses, not only this season, but in the last 10 years, consistently throughout the whole season and postseason. And now we're talking about, okay, one of you is going to win this coin toss and get a chance to score a touchdown first. And by the way, whoever scores the touchdown first wins. It seems kind of counterproductive to not give a chance to the other offense. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So in addition,
that's if it's such an offensive driven. It is offensive driven league.
Dude, the league has changed so much while we've grown up.
No, for sure.
You remember when games used to be like 10-7, and that was like a decent
game.
Yeah, because touchdowns were huge. Now they're cheap because you got 60, 50 point games.
Yep.
I mean, and you'd see the Panthers like blow out the Bills by 40 points, and you were amazed.
Wow, that's the best offense ever to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's not even close. They were conservative for what we're doing now. Back then, like vintage Cam Newton, dude.
I know.
Yeah. So there's that. Also, the offsides penalty. I've seen some angles. Well, in the Chiefs and Patriots games, the neutral zone infraction.
Yeah.
Where Brady threw his 3rd pick, but there was that
offsides.
Yeah. I've seen some different angles of that.
It was, yeah.
I don't think he was.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he was. That would have been Brady's 3rd pick. Yeah, we'll pull it up right now.
But it's done and done.
He really doesn't look like he's...
Well, that angle, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, how about... Let me go to YouTube. He really doesn't look like he's... And he didn't even hurt the play either. Oh, this is the roughing the passer call. He's literally still had the ball in his hands. That is so dumb.
That's ridiculous.
So stupid.
That's ridiculous, too. I mean, it looks as if he's... The
From
blue
that,
line...
From that angle, though, you gotta look, like, right on it.
Yeah, like, at a sideline view.
I think it's one of those things like, what play... it was the A&M LSU game this season. And it was from where they spotted the first down. On the TV, it looked like...
Yeah, because the blue line...
From a different position than it was.
Yeah.
So I think it could have been one of those. I think it was... And I saw a video on Twitter, and it was like right before that play, like Tom Brady shook hands with the ref.
Yeah.
And then the very next play, he throws that pick, and then after he throws the pick, they threw a flag because of the neutral zone infraction.
Oh, that was after the pick?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You did like we didn't see a flag until later. But it's pretty sketchy, dude. I don't know.
Whatever. Don't even.
No, yeah. I don't know. I'm just talking here.
Yeah.
But no. I think the NFL's got to work on a lot of things. You know.
But it's just hard to work on all.
When you just change everything, it just makes more gray areas. You know, it's like playing whack-a-mole.
Yep, I agree.
You know, it's like you try to fix one problem and then 3 more pop up, and you got.
I agree.
And it shows. It shows this week. They got a lot to work on, and
NFL should be embarrassed.
Oh, absolutely. Do you think Roger Goodell will change the call?
Oh, you heard about that? No way.
Yeah, I don't think he does either.
I think that only popped up because of betting.
Well,
because now that it's legal, that would be the only reason that he would. But that wouldn't even go through because all those people who bet, they already got their money. It's not like all the firms or whatever are going to be like, hey, give us the money back.
Yeah. It would just be too much red tape.
Yeah.
And my gosh.
I mean, it could be done. Like, that's something that they have done.
It's also just not fair because then just that game has a whole nother week to like prepare.
Oh yeah. Well,